Back here again for our video, and in this video I want to talk about one of my all-time favorite childhood TV shows. This was a show that I grew up watching and a show that I had a lot of love for, and that show was Goosebumps. And I just wanted to do a video just talking about, why I love Goosebumps and, my memories of it. And I also want to show off my video collection because I have almost all of the Goosebumps videos. I'm missing a couple, but I'll get to that near the end of the video. But first I want to talk about what inspired me to do this video. And what made me want to do a video about Goosebumps was a few months back, one of my favorite YouTubers, The Horror Man, started doing videos showing off his Goosebumps book collection. And he had all the books of the original series. He also had the books from later series like Series 2000 and Give Yourself Goosebumps. And that really made me, it just reminded me about how much Goosebumps it meant to me when I was younger, and how much I absolutely loved the show. And after I watched his videos, I did started watching other people's videos showing off Goosebumps collections, and I stumbled across this one channel called Goosebumps #1 Aussie Fan, and this guy has the biggest Goosebumps collection on YouTube. Definitely, he has one of the biggest collections. He collects everything from the books to the videos to collectibles to figures, whatever you can think about. This guy collects, and he just has an absolutely mind-blowing collection. I'll leave a link down below to Goosebumps #1 Aussie Fans videos. If you're a Goosebumps fan and you've never heard of this guy, you need to check his videos out because he has, without a doubt, the biggest Goosebumps collection on YouTube. It's an amazing collection. But after watching some of his videos, it really made me want to do a video talking about Goosebumps and talking about why I loved it growing up, and also show off my videos and stuff. Unfortunately, a few months passed, and I kind of just, time got away from me, and I just never got a chance to do it. Well, I'm back, and I'm finally doing a video talking about Goosebumps and talking about, what it meant to me. So first, I'll talk a bit about, the first time I heard about Goosebumps. Now, when I grew up, I didn't grow up watching Goosebumps. I actually grew up watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was one of the first horror-related shows that were meant for kids. And I remember loving Are You Afraid of the Dark. So I grew up watching that. I actually didn't know about Goosebumps until I would say the late 90s, which was around the time when the videos were starting to come out and Goosebumps wasn't as popular as it was. It was really popular in I would say the mid 90s, I think, is when it was really, really popular. And then the late 90s, and by late 90s I mean like 98, 99, around there, it wasn't as popular as it was, but it still had a popularity. And now, of course, with the movie that came out, and now they have the second movie, it's gotten incredibly popular again. It never stopped being popular, it just wasn't, I just think that during the late 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't as popular as it was, say, the mid 90s. But the first time I ever saw anything related to Goosebumps was my cousin had a copy of the book Let's Get Invisible, and I think he must have got it from his school's library. And I remember just looking at it and just looking at the cover and just thinking about how creepy it looked, and it made me want to read it. At that point, I wasn't really reading a lot of chapter books. I want to say I was in elementary school when I saw him with that book, because he was in middle school at the time. I'd say, or he might have been in elementary school as well. I don't remember. We didn't go to the same schools or anything, but he might have still been in elementary school at the time, because I was really young. I want to say I was maybe 7 or 8. I think was the first time I ever saw. Yeah, I think it was I was about 7 or 8 was the first time that I ever saw a Goosebumps book. And I just remembered that, and I just was just thinking, what is Goosebumps? What is, what are these books? And then I remember my mom and I went to, I want to say we went to Toys R Us, and I saw a Goosebumps video, and remember thinking, wow, I didn't know that they made videos or movies based on Goosebumps, and I remembered, the Goosebumps book that my cousin Spencer had. And the first Goosebumps video I ever got, which I got from Toys R Us, I believe it was Toys R Us, was The Haunted Mask, which was the first video ever released of the series. And I remember just getting this and being so excited because, like I said, it was like now I can finally find out what Goosebumps was. And I brought it home and I watched it, and I really, really loved it. I really related to Carly Beth. Her being really scared because when I was a kid, I was scared of things. I wasn't like terrified of everything. Like I watched horror movies and stuff. I wasn't terrified of everything like her, but I was bullied a lot in elementary school, especially in middle school, of course. But I watched it in elementary school, and I was bullied, and I related a lot to her and related a lot to how she felt about life and stuff, and her kind of wanting to get even with the people that the bullies at her school, and I really enjoyed the entire story. It took place on Halloween, which is now my favorite holiday. Back then, it was my second favorite holiday. Back elementary school, of course. I believed in Santa Claus, so Christmas was my favorite holiday, but Halloween was right there. But yeah, I just absolutely loved the Haunted Mask. And then after that, I wanted to collect everything related to Goosebumps. I sort of got into a Goosebumps obsession, and so I started collecting the videos. I'll go and show them off. Like I started, of course I got the Haunted Mask 2, which I really enjoyed this one as well. I know this one gets hate compared to the first one, but I enjoyed the Haunted Mask 2 as well. And then of course, I actually rented the Haunted Mask 2, and I rented this one, Stay Out of the Basement. I remember renting these. And then of course I eventually found the tapes. And then A Night in Terror Tower. And then probably one of the creepiest Goosebumps episodes, Night of the Living Dummy 3. And I did have Welcome to Dead House and The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, but I'll get to why I don't have those in a minute. But yeah, I collected all the videos. I'll just go ahead and show the rest of them off. Werewolf Skin Part 1 and 2. Sorry, the wind's blowing really bad today. One Day at Horrorland Part 1 and 2. And Bride of the Living Dummy and An Old Story. And yeah, like I said, I just got into sort of a Goosebumps obsession. Hold on, I'm trying to reach some. There we go. But like I said, I just got into like a Goosebumps obsession, and then I started collecting the books. Every time my mom and I would go to a bookstore, like Books A Million or Barnes & Noble, I would always get a Goosebumps book that I didn't have. And eventually I had every single Goosebumps book in the entire original series. I also had a lot of the Series 2000 books, the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I had books that they released that were based on the TV show, and several others. I had Goosebumps Triple Header. I just had so many of the books. And after I collected all the books, I also started I was also watching the TV show at the same time. It started playing on Fox Family, and my dad started recording it for me, and he eventually made me a 6-hour videotape of nothing but Goosebumps episodes, and I would just watch it because sometimes I missed it, sometimes I wasn't, because it came on at like 3:30 or something, or 4. It was right at the time when I was just getting off school, so sometimes I would miss it. But I would just I had a whole tape full of Goosebumps episodes. I had all the books of the original series, as well as a lot of books from the other series. I had the videos. I had the board games. I even had the Haunted Mask. They actually made a Goosebumps a mask from the Haunted Mask that I had. It was the older one from the 90s. They did release a newer one, I think. But it doesn't look as close to the original. It doesn't look as close to the original episode as the one that I had has, or at least I don't think. I've never seen that mask. I've never seen the new Haunted Mask in person, so it might look closer to the original episode than I think it does. I remember the one that I had was a bit more green than the one in the episode. But yeah, I just absolutely love Goosebumps, and I'll show this off too. I actually got this. I forget where I got it from, but it's a picture of R.L. Stine, and it says, have a scary day, and it's supposed to look like he signed it, but the autograph is probably not real. I forget where I got that from, but yeah, I was just obsessed with Goosebumps. And then as I, got older, I started looking at my Goosebumps books because I wasn't reading my Goosebumps books. I sort of got to the point where I just didn't have enough time to read, and they were just all sitting there in a tote. They weren't being read, but it was all the original ones, and eventually I sort of moved on from Goosebumps, and by that I mean is I go through phases where I'll collect something for a long time, and then I'll move on and I'll collect something else. Like as you guys can see right now, I'm sort of collecting a lot of VHSs. I'm sort of going through that phase of I want to get some cool VHSs. And if you guys have been following me, you guys know that I also used to collect Wizard of Oz stuff. I still do, but not as much as I used to. Same thing happened with Goosebumps, and I just kind of, none of the Goosebumps books that I had were getting read. I wasn't reading any of them. They were all just sitting there in a tote, and so I decided to get rid of them all. I know some people who collect Goosebumps are like, you got rid of them all? And they were all original. They were all the original, all the original artwork and everything. The ones that people want, not the reissue ones. I mean, the reissue ones are okay, but people want the original ones. I never understood why they just didn't re-release the original ones. I don't know. I know that they did for a certain time, and then they changed it to the new ones, but anyway. I'm not really knowledgeable about Goosebumps history as much, so if anyone does know that, let me know. But I got rid of the books because I kind of felt like if I wasn't going to be reading them, I'd rather give them out to people who would read them, give them out to kids who would read them, which I am glad that I did that because I feel like I could have helped contributed to introducing another young kid to Goosebumps. Maybe they went and they went to I forget where I gave them to. I'm sure it was probably Goodwill, but I think it'd be kind of cool if a kid walked into that Goodwill and found a copy of one of my books and it introduced them to Goosebumps. I think that would be kind of cool. So even though I did get rid of them all, I was glad to because I knew that somebody else would end up finding them and reading them and enjoying them, and I just wasn't enjoying them. I wasn't reading them. And I just felt it'd be better to give them out to people that would read them instead of just keeping them in a tote. Well, I kind of got out of Goosebumps for a while, and I didn't really think about that. And then the movie came out. I haven't seen the movie. I need to see it. I know. I wanted to, but I just didn't. And now I'm kind of back into. I'm not back into collecting Goosebumps. I won't be collecting the books because I just have no place for them. But I do want to get back and recollect the videos because you guys notice I don't have all the videos. I used to have them all, but I was planning on getting rid of them, but I wanted to keep the ones that I watched the most, which turned out to be most of them. The only ones that I'm missing are Welcome to Dead House and Welcome to Dead House and the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I know that Welcome to Camp Nightmare was released in the UK on video, but I'm just talking about the American videos. And I know I think another episode was released on. I can't really remember, but so the only two I'm missing are those two, and I do plan on getting them back. I've seen eBay. They don't go for a lot of prices. I mean, they don't go for high prices or anything. So I figured, I'll eventually get those back. I have picked up a few other cool things that from the cool things more recently, like over the past few years, Goosebumps related, and I'll show those off. The first one that I'll show off is another video copy of the Haunted Mask 2, only this one is a screener copy. Look at that. Very, very cool. I got this at Goodwill at one point, but it says not for rental or sale. This feature-length screener is for sales, age, use, and absolutely not for rental, sale, or public demonstration. U.S. single unit order date, July 7th, 1997. So yeah, there is a screener. You don't see a lot of these. Goosebumps screener VHS. The Horror Man, I know you're a big fan of screeners. So, but yeah, I just thought it was very cool. I like what they say about it on the back. The hair-raising sequel to the best-selling kids television title in video history. But I got that at Goodwill. I got it a few years back, I think. And I just never showed it off in a video. And I also have two of the DVDs. I did collect the DVDs as well, but I ended up only keeping one of them. And that was The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight because I just really liked that episode. This also has Don't Go to Sleep and Calling All Creeps. I've never seen Don't Go to Sleep, but I have seen Calling All Creeps. But I do have this one. And then I got this one from FYE, and this was right when my FYE reopened. For those of you who may have noticed, a lot of FYEs are closing down. Well, the one that I had in my mall closed down, and then they reopened to what FYE is now. With the yellow logo, and they're starting to, they got vinyl and they got vinyl pops and stuff. That's what I think eventually all FYEs are just going to turn into these new type of FYEs where they don't have as many movies, but they have a lot more. They have other stuff. They still have movies, but they just have a lot of other stuff as well. But I remember the one at my the one at my mall reopened to this new FYE, and I got really excited. And I went in there and I was looking at the movies, and I just found this, The Haunted Mask 2 on DVD. I had to pick this up. I was really hoping that they'd eventually release the first Haunted Mask on DVD. I know that there is a UK set, and I also know that there is a bootleg. I know you can get bootlegs of the entire Goosebumps series, but I kind of wish that they would just release an official, complete series, I mean, you kind of figure with, the movie and stuff, now that the movies are out, the second movie just came out. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a video just talking about Goosebumps and talking about why I love the series. It was a show that it never really scared me. There were a few episodes that kind of creeped me out, like Night of the Living Dummy 3 kind of creeped me out, and Bride of the Living Dummy did as well. I actually got kind of scared at a scene when when Slappy and his bride was fighting at the end. That kind of scared me as a kid. But I just absolutely loved the show. I know that there were a lot of, there were some bad episodes, but I think that there were a lot more great episodes, especially the ones that I saw. Like the majority of the ones that I saw were all pretty good. Especially for like kid shows, and they all had good actors, good stories, and I just have a lot of really great memories of Goosebumps, and that's why I just wanted to do this video, just talking about why I love Goosebumps, and just also show off the videos. And like I said, I do plan on re-getting the Werewolf of Fever Swamp and Welcome to Dead House. Those are the only two videos that I'm missing, and I plan on getting those again. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to do this video just talking about one of my favorite childhood series, TV series, and like I said, I was inspired to do these videos after watching the Horror Man's videos. If you guys don't know who he is, I'll leave a link down below to his channel, and I'll also leave a link down below to Goosebumps #1 Aussie fan, who has, like I said, an amazing Goosebumps collection, so I'll leave links down below to both of those in the description box. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about Goosebumps. Did you grow up watching it? Did you not? And let me know if you collected the movies. I mean, not the movies, but the videos, the books, or any of the collectibles. And also let me know what you guys think about Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was the horror-based show that I watched for kids before Goosebumps, because Are You Afraid of the Dark was on Nickelodeon, and I watched Nickelodeon constantly as a kid. That and Cartoon Network were the two channels that I watched. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or join my movie collecting Facebook group, links to those will be down in the description box below as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a great Sunday.